Good morning, Vimanians. It's Thursday again, and it's time for our Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. It's me again, your teacher, Mr. Julius O. Kapalungan, and we will be discussing Quarter 2 of our Module 2, Functions and Importance of Education. After going through this module, you are expected to, number 1, define the meaning of education and its function in the society, explain the types of system of education in the Philippine context. Number 2, determine the similarities and differences of formal and non-formal education. And number 3, value the functions and significance of education in providing productive citizens based on the existing provisions of law. Okay, before we start or before we discuss our lesson for today, let us have an activity. Okay, so nakita natin itong flower chart. So education may have a different connotation depending on how individuals look at it. Okay, for example, a teacher and a student may have different view on education. In the flower chart below, write your own ideas or concept about education. So when we say education, ano ba yung unang pumapasok sa isip natin? As a student, no? So meron tayo ritong flower chart at this flower has 5 petals. So ano ba yung mga pwede nating ilagay dyan sa mga petals na yan na naka-connote, no? Or may connotation or meron kayong ideas or ano ba yung masasabi nyo, no? When we say education, as a student, halimbawa. Sige nga, let us fill our flower chart and use our comment section below. Sige, meron tayong 1 minute. So, I'll give you 1 minute to comment your answer to our comment section below. So, what is education? What is education for you? Can you write your own ideas or concepts about the meaning or about education? Sige. Hintayin ko yung mga nagsasagot. Maraming salamat sa mga nagsasagot ng ating first activity. Okay, so when we say education, what is your concepts or ideas about this topic? So, kumpletuhin natin yung ating flower chart. Okay, since this is our topic for today, can you give me your thoughts muna, no? Ano ba yung mga nasa isip nyo? Ano ba ang pagkakaunawa nyo? No? Paano ba natin mai-describe or mailalarawan si formal and non-formal education? Can you give me your thoughts? Kindly use our comment section below. Okay? Gamitin natin yung ating comment section. What is formal and non-formal education? So, alam niyo naman siguro yan, no? When we say formal education and non-formal education. Nararanasan na kaya natin yan, yung formal education and non-formal education? Saan kaya natin sila nakikita? Okay? Ano ba yung pagkakaunawa natin about formal and non-formal education? Pareho kaya sila? Magkaiba? Ano ba ang pagkakaiba kung magkaiba? Okay, sige nga, tingnan nga natin. Kindly use our comment section below. I'll give you 1 minute para makapagsagot, no? Yung ating mga nagpa-participate. Thank you sa mga nagpa-participate sa ating activity, no? Kindly comment your answer to our comment section. What is formal and non-formal education? Kindly give me your thoughts about this one. Next one, which type of education are you in? The formal or the non-formal? And why? So, since kanina, sinagot natin, no? binigay nyo yung inyong mga thoughts and ideas, no, about formal and non-formal education, no? This time, sa tingin nyo, saan ba kayo nabibilang itong ginagawa natin ngayon? Is it formal or non-formal education, and why? No, bakit kaya? If formal, kung sa tingin nyo ay nasa formal education tayo, why? If non-formal, then why? So state your reason. So, sige, I'll give you 1 minute, no, to answer, to comment down your answer to our comment section below. And tingnan natin, no, kung magtutugma ba yung mga sagot, no. Mamaya di-discuss natin, no, what is formal and non-formal education. Kung malalaman natin mamaya kung tama ba yung mga isinagot natin sa ating comment section. Which type of education are you in? The formal or the non-formal, and why? So anong uri ba tayo ng education? No, yung dinaranas natin ngayon or yung ginagawa nyo ngayon. Is it formal or non-formal education? Then state your reason. Why, no? Kailangan i-depend nyo yung answer nyo. If your answer is that you are on formal education, then state the reason why. If sa tingin nyo is non-formal, state the reason why also you are in the non-formal education. Okay? Just comment down your answer to our comment section below at babasahin natin yan isa-isa. Okay, give examples of formal and non-formal education. So ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng formal and non-formal education? So alam ko na alam nyo to, na-experience nyo na to, or na-experience nyo na, no? At nakikita yung mga halimbawa nito. So kindly use our comment section below. At least 2 to 3 examples will do. No, ipipin natin yung mga sagot nyo, yung mga tamang sagot. Okay, just indicate, for example, non-formal or formal education. Tapos, ilahad nyo yung mga examples ng nasa formal education or non-formal education. Then, lahad nyo yung examples ng non-formal education. Sige, I'll give you 1 minute, no, para makapagsagot, makapag-participate sa ating activity. Okay, thank you sa mga nagpa-participate at sa mga nagsasagot at nagko-comment sa ating comment section. Okay, give examples of formal and non-formal education. And last, why do you think they are important in the society? So, it is pertaining, no, to formal and non-formal education, no? Bakit ba mahalaga na magkaroon tayo ng formal or non-formal education? So, gaano ba ito kahalaga sa ating society? Okay, just comment your answer, no, to our comment section below. Ipipin natin yan, yung mga sagot natin. Salamat sa mga nagpa-participate. Sige, tuloy-tuloy lang yung ating pag-comment or pag-write ng ating mga sagot, no, sa ating comment section. So, why do you think they are important in the society? So, it is pertaining to formal and non-formal education. So, bakit ba mahalaga ang formal or non-formal education sa ating society? So, gaano ba siya kahalaga? Okay? I'll give you 1 minute just to answer this question to our comment section below. At ipipin natin yung inyong mga sagot. Okay, so let us go straight to our topic. The meaning of education, types, functions, and its importance. So, the meaning of education. So, education, it is the act or process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge, developing the powers of reasoning and judgment, and generally of preparing oneself or others intellectually for mature life. So, that is according to dictionary.com. However, education as a social institution has a different meaning. According to Dr. William Little, held that education is a social institution through which a society's children are taught basic academic knowledge, learning skills, and cultural norms. So, that is the meaning of education. So, when we impart knowledge, when we develop our reasoning, okay, and we are preparing of ourselves intellectually para sa mga real-life situation or real-life scenario or sa totoong buhay, no? ay part yan, no, ng education. So, but according to Dr. William, hindi lang daw yan, no? Education is like a social institution. Bakit social institution? Because society's children are taught kayo, no, ng mga academic, basic academic knowledge. No? May mga basic academic subject tayo na natututunan. Simula sa ating pagkabata, no? When you are taught in nursery, kinder, up to college, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na academic knowledge, nag-acquire tayo ng learning skills, and even the cultural norms. So, ito yung pinaka-importante, no? Yung cultural norms, no? Natututunan natin. So, when we say education, no? Hindi lang basta tayo nakapag natuto or nakapag-impart ng knowledge, hindi lang tayo basta natutong magbasa or magsulat, dapat natutunan din natin yung ibang mga bagay, especially our cultural norms. So mamaya tatalakayin natin yan. Furthermore, the word education is derived from the Latin word educare, which means to train, to rear or bring up a child. Hence, it plays a significant role in transferring culture and social norms among members of society. In the process of training and the various modalities of educating, it enables individuals to flourish their personality to withstand the culture and social systems. It will always remain as an essential support pillar in our society. So yan, no? Education comes from the Latin word educare, which means to train or to bring up a child. So napaka-importante na tayo ay matrained ng ating mga teachers academically, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Dapat natitrain tayo sa school. Hindi lang puro academic, no? Dapat emotionally trained din tayo. Like for example, tayo halimbawa ay nakakuha ng failing grade. So ano ang gagawin? So yung iba iyak na lang, or so dapat kaya nating i-handle 'yan, no? Marunong tayong makipag-usap sa mga teachers, marunong tayong magtanong. Okay? So, yan, physically, emotionally, even spiritually, no? So, tinuturo din yan sa school. So, ito yung pinakamahalaga, no? It plays a significant role in transferring culture and social norms. So, natalakay na natin yan, yung cultural and social norms, no? Natalakay na natin yan sa topic natin, no? Nung first quarter. Okay? Among members of society. So, though we have blended modality, no, na ginagamit ngayon during pandemic, pero hindi naman doon nagtatapos ang education. So, pwede kayong magbasa, pwede kayong mag-search through internet, okay, at marami pang iba. Okay, so pwede nyo pang i-nourish or i-flourish yung inyong mga kakayahan through different platforms. Okay? So, it will always remain as an essential and essential support pillar in our society. So, napakahalaga ng education. Na kapag wala ang education, malamang, no, wala nang future yung ating mga kabataan. So, for example, no, sa ibang bansa, like sa Africa, baba ng education nila. Kaya, yung future ng mga youth, no, ay na-compromise. Unlike dito sa atin, no, kahit na mahirap din tayo na bansa, ay pinipilit pa rin ng ating Department of Education na magkaroon ng edukasyon despite of pandemic, no, maraming trial and error sa paggamit ng iba't ibang modalities. So, ito na lang kasi yung magiging sandigan natin ng ating society in the near future. Kayo naman yung susunod na henerasyon, no, na magtataguyod ng ating society or ng ating bansa. Hence, Alvin Toffler, an American writer and futurist, is popularly quoted for having said, "The illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." So this marks the highlights of the extensive journey that occurs in the field of education. So sabi ni Alvin Toffler, no, hindi na issue ngayong 21st century yung mga illiterate na hindi marunong magbasa at magsulat, no? But those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So mga ayaw matuto, ayaw mag-aral, no, o ayaw talagang tanggapin o yakapin ang edukasyon. So sila yung mga sinasabi, no, ni Alvin Toffler na mga illiterate ng 21st century. Kasi ngayon napakadali na eh. Isang pindot na lang matututo ka na. Isang click na lang andyan na yung information. Ngayon nasa sayo na yun kung gusto mong matuto or kung ayaw mong matuto, no? Sabi nga namin mga teachers, no, kahit anong gawa namin ng video lesson, kahit anong hirap at pagod namin sa pag-upload, paggawa ng mga video lesson, kung ayaw mo i-click yan, ayaw mong panoorin, ayaw mong pakinggan, hindi ka talaga matututo. So tama naman si Alvin Toffler, no? So hindi lang nasa porket hindi ka marunong bumasa at sumulat, illiterate ka na, no? In 21st century, no, hindi lang daw 'yon ang batayan or basihan ng pagiging isang illiterate. But those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So, yakapin natin ang edukasyon, yakapin natin ang pagbabago, no? Yakapin natin kung ano man yung dapat yakapin. Huwag tayong maging illiterate of the 21st century. Bagkus tayo ay dapat dumagdag, no, sa mga literate na students, no? In a way na hindi lang basta marunong magbasa at magsulat, no? Dapat marunong din tayo academically, marunong tayo at syempre nandyan din through physical, academic, emotional, and spiritual. So dapat pinatatatag natin yan, no? Yung apat. Dapat holistic approach pa rin yung ating education. Since ginagawa naman yan ng DepEd, ginagawa yan, ini-implement yan ng ating schools, pero nasa sa atin pa rin kung paano natin sila i-adapt, paano natin sila yayakapin, paano natin sila pagyayamanin or inonorish, no? Yung mga abilities, yung mga skills natin. So tandaan hindi na porket hindi ka marunong magbasa at magsulat ay batayan or basihan ng pagiging isang illiterate. So in the 21st century, no, those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn is an example, no, of illiteracy. So dapat simulan na natin sa ating sarili na dapat tayo ay marunong, no, hindi lang magbasa at magsulat, marunong tayong mag-aral, no, in a way na nandyan na yung mga lesson natin, nandyan na yung mga video lesson, nandyan na yung mga modules, isang click na lang, one click away na lang, panonoorin, babasahin na lang, pakikinggan na lang, ay nandyan na, no? So para maiwasan natin, no, yung pagiging isang mangmang, no, in 21st century settings, no? As 21st century learners, nag-iba man yung ating platforms or modalities, no, ay try natin i-engage or try natin yakapin lahat, no, ng mga pagbabago na nakikita natin sa panahong ito. Okay, so let us discuss the system of education in the Philippines. So ano ba yung dalawang uri ng sistema ng edukasyon, no, na kanina pa natin binabanggit sa ating activity. So there are two types of education in the Philippines. These are the formal and the non-formal. So formal education refers to the standardized method of hierarchically structured and progressive schooling that corresponds to general notion of elementary and secondary and tertiary level of education. Yet only the primary and secondary level is compulsory to the students. So yan, so yung ating example of educational system in the Philippines. So meron tayong dalawang uri ng educational system. It is the formal and non-formal education. So when we say formal education, it is a standardized method, hierarchically structured. Meron tayong sinusundan when we say hierarchically structured. So meron tayong sinusundan. Ano ba yung sinusundan natin na yan? Yan ay tinatawag ding progressive schooling. So bakit progressive schooling? Kasi meron tayong sinusundan, hierarchically structured. Like for example, no, Kung ikaw ay bago pa lang or bata pa lang, no, mag-enroll ka pa lang. For example, ikaw ay nursery pa lang or kinder pa lang, diyan papasok yung elementary. No? After graduating in elementary, no, pag-graduate mo ng grade 6, pagdating mo ng grade 7, diyan naman papasok ang secondary. So, hagdan-hagdan yan. Then, after mo graduate ng high school or ng secondary, dyan papasok ang tertiary or ang college, no, of education. Pero sabi nga, primary and secondary level is compulsory to the students. When we say compulsory, ito daw ay dapat na marating mo. Okay? So, dapat nag-aral tayo ng elementary and high school. So, bakit hindi naging compulsory ang tertiary level or college, no? So, hindi naman lahat may pang-aral. Hindi naman lahat ay nakakatungtong ng kolehiyo, no? Like nung panahon namin, no, after graduating, especially ako nung panahon ko after graduating high school, nagtrabaho na ako, nag-fast food na ako. So, dahil wala nga akong pang-aral sa kolehiyo, nagtrabaho muna ako, nag-ipon ako. Then afterwards, no, nung medyo nakaipon na, saka ako nag-enroll sa college. So, ganun, no? Unlike naman ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na senior high school, no? Meron tayong grade 11 and 12, which is napakaganda, no? Although, nung una, maraming nag-against kasi bakit kailangan pang magkaroon ng grade 11 and 12? Dapat college na para dire-diretso na yung bata. Although, maunawaan naman natin yung ibang magulang, pero kasi ang aim ng grade 11 and 12 or senior high school is mai-prepare kayo or mai-ready kayo, no? Mai-walk through kayo sa mga subjects or sa mga skilled na dapat yung matutunan, no? Kapag kayo ay tumungtong na ng college or ng kolehiyo. Okay, like for example, no, wala kang pang-enroll or wala kang pang tuition, no, sa college, no, pwede ka munang mag-tech-voc sa grade 11 and 12 mo or mag-vocational course ka muna, no, sa grade 11 and 12 mo. So, after graduated sa senior high school mo, nag-tech-voc ka muna halimbawa, no? So, meron ka ng skills, meron ka ng mga skills, no, na pwede mong gamitin sa pag-apply ng trabaho or para kumita ng pera. So, yun yung kagandahan. So, mamaya tatalakayan natin yan, no? Part kasi yan ng non-formal education. Okay, yung mga crash course na yan, yung mga skills na yan. Okay, for the meantime, no, we have formal education. When we say formal education, it is standardized, no? Ito yung ginagawa natin ngayon, no? Ito yung nag-aaral kayo mula elementary, secondary, and up to senior high school and college. So, yan yung formal education, standardized yan, may sinusunod na curriculum, may sinusunod na mga syllabus, no, sa college, no? May mga sinusunod tayo na budget of work, hierarchically structured, okay, from simple to complex, no, yung ating mga curriculum, okay, at sinusunod natin yan. So, yan yung tinatawag na formal education. In the educational system of the Philippines, the elementary and secondary level is administered and supervised by the Department of Education. So, elementary level is composed of kindergarten and 6 years of primary education, whereas the secondary contains 4 years of junior high school and 2 years of senior high school. Furthermore, the tertiary level is administered and supervised by the Commission on Higher Education. The actual years spent in this level depends on the curriculum of each course. So, yan na-explain na sa atin, no, ng slide na to. Ilang years pa tayo dapat sa elementary, ilang years tayo dapat sa high school, ilang years tayo dapat sa college. So, sa elementary, no, meron daw kindergarten and 6 primary education. So, ibig sabihin, tayo ay 7 taon sa elementary at 6 na taon sa high school, kasama na yung 2 years sa senior high school. Then afterwards, no, tayo ay didiretso or mag-enroll na sa college. Pagdating naman sa college, no, ang minimum na mga course natin sa College of Education ay minimum ng 4 years. Pero depende kung anong course ang kukunin mo. Like for example, ECE or Electronics Communications Engineer, mga 5-year course yan. Nursing, doctor, yan yung mga matatagal na course. Law, yan yung mga matatagal, mahigit 5 years or 4 years and up yung kanilang haba no, ng pag-aaral. So, depende. So, hinati to. Dati, nung time namin, magkasama pa tong dalawa na to. Ito ay tinatawag na DEX or Department of Education, Culture and Sports. Pero since ito ay hinati na, no, elementary and high school up to senior high school ay under yan ng Department of Education at ang college naman ay under ng Commission on Higher Education. So meaning, lahat ng formal announcement, standardized curriculum sa elementary and high school, ang bahala dyan ay ang Department of Education. So lahat ng guidelines or anything about elementary and high school ay Department of Education. At sa college naman ay ang Commission on Higher Education naman ang bahala dyan. So magkaiba sila, dalawang sangay ng gobyerno na nangangalaga no, na sa kapakanan ng ating edukasyon, pero dalawa sila pero magkaiba or magkahiwala yung kanilang hinahawakan. So, Department of Education ulit from elementary to high school, and Commission on Higher Education naman sa college. Nonetheless, the non-formal education refers to an educational activity carried outside the structure of a formal education. So according to UNESCO, non-formal education can cover programs contributing to adult and youth literacy and education for out-of-school children, as well as programs of life skills, work skills, and social or cultural development. Thus, this type of education is basically flexible, learner-centered, contextualized, and requires learners to participate in every activity. Also, the age of learners in this category is not a necessity. One example is the Alternative Learning System or ALS overseen by Department of Education. ALS, non-formal education, happens outside the classroom, community-based, usually conducted at community learning centers, barangay, multipurpose hall, libraries at home, managed by ALS learning facilitators such as mobile teachers, district ALS coordinators, instructional managers, at an agreed schedule and venue between the learners and facilitators. So, ito yung ating non-formal education. So, when we say non-formal education, refers to an educational activity carried outside the structure of formal education. Ibig sabihin, when we are outside of the structure of a formal education, ibig sabihin meron siyang sariling structure, meron siyang sariling sinusunod. No, hindi yan kapareho na ginagawa natin kapag tayo ay nasa formal education na regular tayong pumapasok sa school. Yung mga pinag-aaralan natin ng mga academic subject ay pareho ng mga nasa non-formal education. Bakit magkaiba? Okay? Kasi dito sa non-formal education, ang tinuturo ay more on skills, no? Life skills, work skills, or social or cultural development. Okay? So dito sa non-formal education, no, ang kadalasan mga estudyante natin dito ay kadalasan mga overage na or lampas na dun sa edad, no, na makikita natin. At ang halimbawa nito ay yung ALS or Alternative Learning System, no, na makikita natin, no, na kinakandak or nagkakandak ng ALS ang ating mga barangay, ang ating school, even yung ating Camarin High School, meron tayong ALS. Although ito ay nasa loob ng school, pero ito pa rin ay part ng non-formal education. So ang tinuturo dito ay life skills, work skills, or social or cultural development. So ang kadalasan tinuturo dito sa ALS at yung mga skills na pwede mong ma-acquire or matutunan since ikaw ay overage na, no? Ang aim mo ay matuto ng mga bagong skills na magagamit mo in real life situation or in real life mismo na magagamit mo, na mapagkakakitaan mo, na pwede kang matuto agad-agad, no? Like for example, yan, yung ating mga livelihood education, yung halimbawa, yung handicraft, no? Electronics, welding, yan. Diyan papasok yung ating mga non-formal education. So, yan yung mga crash course na tinatawag, no? Yung massage, halimbawa, massage therapist, facial, ano pa ba mga crash course natin? Computer hardware and servicing. So, part yan ng non-formal education. Although, tinuturo din yan sa school, pero dito kasi sa ALS or non-formal education, ay naka-fast track yung mga program dito na ang aim ay maituro kaagad, no, maituro ito sa mga learners since sila ay overage na, no, maituro sa kanila to directly at para sila ay para sila ay magkaroon ng pagkakataon na kumita since sila ay overage na, no, sa kanilang edad para makapag-aral. So, dito papasok yung ating non-formal education. Whether formal or non-formal education addresses various needs of the society, education also provides a productive citizenry and makes the self-actualization possible. Productive citizens are necessary for the improvement of the community. However, self-actualization refers to the desire for self-fulfillment or the tendency of human to become actualized in what he is potentially. Again, education takes a vital part to achieve the self-actualization. Education has different functions. This consists of socialization, transmission of culture, social integration, social placement, and social and cultural innovation and/or preservation. So that is the functions of education. That is the function and importance of education. So, tatalakayin natin yan, yung mga nabanggit yan. Letter A, socialization. Socialization is an essential ingredient in creating a society. Since school is an agent of socialization, thus education transforms human in becoming literate and recognize its function in the society. Through education as a means of socialization, we also learn social norms, values, and culture that are fortified by our teachers, our textbooks, and our classmates as well. So yan napaka-importante ng ating socialization. So hindi lang tayo basta natututo sa ating mga teachers through textbook, no? As well as socializing daw to our classmates, no? To our maintenance, to our schoolmates, no? To our friends, no? In school, no? We have to socialize. So through socialization, we also learn the social norms and values and culture na meron yung isang lugar or yung isang ang isang school. So, natututunan natin yan through socialization. So, napakahalaga na meron tayong socialization, na mahilig tayong makipag-socialize or makipagsalamuha kasi dito tayo natututo. No, may mga experiences tayo na mararanasan at dito tayo nagkakaroon ng pagkatuto, no, through socialization. Next, letter B is transmission of culture. Through socialization in school, teachers to learners or learner to learner, the transmission of culture is at the highest possible. Through education, human learn the values, beliefs, and social norms of their culture. So, natalakay na natin to, no? Itong transmission of culture. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng pagpapasa ng ating kultura or natututunan ng ating mga mag-aaral or ng ating mga kapwa mag-aaral yung ating kultura. Na-adapt nila yung kultura na kinalakihan natin or na-adapt din natin yung kultura na kinalakihan nila. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ngayon ng transmission of culture at highest possible kasi nagkakaroon nga ng socialization. Since nagkaroon ng socialization, nagkaroon naman ngayon ng transmission of culture. So, napag-aaralan natin, no, yung mga bagay-bagay na meron yung mga classmate natin or yung kapwa natin mag-aaral na kinagawian nila or kinalakihan nila na nakikita natin. Sabi nga natin, no, tayo dapat ay maging open-minded, no? Huwag tayong maging judgmental sa mga bagay-bagay na nakikita natin sa ating kapwa mag-aaral. Since yan ay kanilang kinalakihan, sa kanila ay hindi bawal yung ganung halimbawa ng uri ng gestures or uri ng salita or anything, no? Sana maging open-minded tayo dun sa kultura na kinalakihan ng bawat isa. So para magkaroon ng harmonious relationship ang isang society or ang isang lugar, no? Or halimbawa kayong magkakaibigan sa isang grupo. So kailangan natin unawain ng isa't isa through their culture. So napakahalaga ng letter B na to, no? Yung transmission of culture, kasi nakita natin nauunawa natin ng isa't isa at nakikita natin yung kultura na kinalakihan ng bawat isa through being open-minded, no, sa kanilang mga kultura or sa ating kultura. So through education, human learn the values, beliefs, and social norms of their culture. So dahil nga tayo ay nag-aaral, no, nag-aaral tayo, naunawaan natin yung mga ugali, paniniwala, at yung mga kinalakihang kultura na kinagisna ng bawat isa sa atin. So that is the transmission of culture. Letter C, social integration. As the saying goes, nations are built because of education. This is because education portrays an important role to unify individuals by teaching the common value and social norms. So, that is social integration. So, ano ba ang common goal ng education? Tayo ay matuto, makapag-impart ng knowledge through academically, physically, emotionally, spiritually sa atin as learner. Pero sabi nga, through social integration, ano ba yung naka-socially integrate sa ating education? Which is the common values and social norms. So yung mga common accepted values and social norms, yan ay nakakabit sa education. Not only academic, not only physical attributes or physical education or spiritually, ganun din ang common accepted values and social norms. So, dito papasok ngayon yung ating mga natutunan, no? Yung ating mga natutunan sa ating mga guro, no? Na kagandahang asal, halimbawa, yung mga ethics na dapat na ina-apply natin kapag tayo ay umattend halimbawa ng mga party or umattend halimbawa ng kainan or ng isang handaan. No? So, yan yung mga common values and mga social norms na dapat na taglay-taglay natin. Okay, so may mga common values and social norms na naka-integrate sa ating education. So, hindi lang basta academic yan, standardized education, hindi lang through physical, emotional, spiritual, no? So, dyan din papasok yung ating values and social norms na naka-integrate dapat sa ating education. And last, for our functions of education and its importance, letter D, social placement. It could be a cliche that all other professions rooted from teachers, though it is indeed the reality. Education provides a social placement for everyone. It prepares for us the later station of our lives and to buy the necessities of life. Now, this makes sense of productive citizenry and self-actualization. So, totoo naman, no? So, all other professions rooted from teachers, no? Sabi nga natin, teaching is a noble profession. Na kung walang teachers, walang doktor, walang abogado, walang pulis, no? Walang engineer. So, napaka-importante ng role ng mga teachers, no? It is indeed a reality na kung walang teachers, walang ibang profession or walang ibang mga professionals tayong makikita sa ating society. So, utang natin lahat ito sa ating mga naging teachers nung tayo ay bata pa. No, education provides a social placement for everyone. Kasi nga, di ba, education is for all. Di ba? Sabi nga ng ating DepEd Secretary, education is for all. Pero, since it is for all, so sana gamitin natin ito, no? I-grab natin itong privilege na to, no? Para tayo ay makapag-aral, no? At para tayo ay makatapos no, to prepare us for the real life situation, no, and to buy the necessities of life para umasenso at maging productive citizen tayo ng ating bansa. So kapag tayo ay nakapagtapos na ng ating pag-aaral, tayo ay nakapagtrabaho na, no, nagagawa na natin or nagagampanan na natin yung ating role as a productive citizen. So pwede na tayo mag-self-actualization, pwede na tayo mag-self-reflect sa ating sarili natin, no? Ano ba yung mga nagawa natin? Nagamit ko ba yung aking talento? Nagamit ko ba yung aking pinag-aralan? Nakatulong na ba ako sa aking bansa? Nakatulong ba ako sa aking magulang? So that is self-actualization. So education is for all. All professions or all professions are rooted from teachers. Pero syempre, it is up to us, no, kung paano natin ito pagyayamanin yung mga talento, yung mga skills na itinuro or yung mga natutunan natin sa school. Okay? So, this makes sense to productive citizenry. So, kailangan maging productive citizen tayo. Nonetheless, it is not a secret that education can change one's life. So, totoo naman, no? Sabi nga, no, may kasabihan na ang edukasyon ay ang tanging pamana ng ating magulang na hindi mananakaw. Kasi kapag ikaw ay nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral, balang araw, ikaw ay asenso, mababago ang iyong buhay. Dahil ikaw ay magkakaroon ng magandang trabaho, may ahon mo yung sarili mo sa hirap. So having education in an area helps people think, feel, and behave in a way that contributes to their success and improves not only their personal satisfaction, but also their community. So, that is cited from Al-Shuabi Abdul Ghani, The Importance of Education 2014. So, kung ikaw ay may tinapos or nakatapos ng iyong pag-aaral, no, you can think, feel, and behave in a way that contributes to their success. So, kailangan ikaw ay magkaroon or marating mo yung dapat mong marating or yung success dapat mong marating, no? At in a way, no, na maaari mo na itong ibalik or maaari kang makatulong sa iyong kapwa, no, sa iyong kapwa guro or sa iyong kapwa mag-aaral or dun sa mga tao na tumulong sa iyo, no, na makarating sa tugatog ng tagumpay or dun sa success nga na tinatawag. So, it is not a secret that education can change one's life. Having education in an area helps people think, feel, and behave in a way that contributes to their success and improves not only their personal satisfaction but also their community. So that is social placement, no? Become a productive citizen, no? Gawin mo lahat ng makakaya mo, magtapos ka ng pag-aaral mo, gamitin mo yung talino mo, yung mga talent and skills mo to help others, to help yourself, no, para ikaw ay maging successful balang araw. Okay, so let us proceed to the legal provisions of education. Education as a human right. It is stated in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of the UN website. Article number 26, number 1, everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. So yan nasa batas natin na edukasyon ay karapatan yan ng lahat, no? Has the right, everyone has the right to education. Ito daw dapat ay libre. Kaya nga sa atin, no, merong public schools sa atin, even elementary, secondary, and tertiary, no, may mga state university tayo. So kung walang pang-aral, pagdating ng kolehiyo, meron tayong state university dito sa Caloocan, which is yung UCC. So it is accessible to all. Syempre, dapat ay maintain natin yung mga dapat natin na i-maintain na grade, no? Especially pagdating sa college. Kasi nga, chine-check nila, no, yung grade. Kung ikaw ay karapat-dapat i-accept, lalo sa mga state universities. Medyo strict sila pagdating sa grade. So, dapat pagbutihan natin dyan sa parte na yan. So, sabi nga, kanina sa ating discussion, elementary and secondary is compulsory. Ibig sabihin, dapat tayo ay nakapagtapos ng elementary at high school. Yung college, since hindi naman lahat nakakatungtong ng kolehiyo, kaya hindi yan inilagay sa compulsory, no? Pero as of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, elementary education shall be compulsory dito. Pero dun sa ating diniscuss kanina, elementary and secondary is compulsory, no? Compulsory sila in our educational system, in our formal education system. Also, from Article 26, number 2, education shall be directed to full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental of freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. So, isa yan sa mga purpose ng ating education, no? Kung bakit tayo nag-aaral, hindi lang basta puro academic, dapat ay tinitrained or dinedevelop natin yung ating human personality, yung ating respect, no? To human rights and fundamental freedoms. So, kaya nga may mga subjects tayo na para ma-develop natin yung mga aspeto na yan, no? Like sa subject natin sa Araling Panlipunan or social studies, no? Tinatalakay natin yung mga issues na yan. Also, promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, no? Especially sa mga issues na to, no? May mga racial discrimination, religious groups or religion discrimination na nakikita natin. So, dapat maging open tayo at hindi tayo nagiging judgmental, no? Sa mga issues na yan. Siyempre, no? At kapag tayo ay okay naman dyan at wala naman tayong discrimination, wala tayong issues about dun sa mga nabanggit, no? Syempre magkakaroon tayo ng peace, no? To our neighboring country, no? So kapag naituro sa atin yung mga yan, no, marunong tayong rumispeto, no? Sa karapatan ng pantao, sa kalayaan, sa self-space, okay? Ay magkakaroon tayo ng kapayapaan hindi lang sa ating bansa, kasama rin syempre ng ating mga neighboring country. Okay, number 3, parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Since kayo ay mga minor pa, no, mga wala pa kayo sa tamang edad, syempre ang may last and final say pa rin ay ang inyong mga magulang, no? Ano bang uri ng education or edukasyon ang nais nilang ibigay sa inyo, no? Kung saan kayo mag-aaral or anong school na inyong papasukan, no? Ina-assess ng ating mga magulang yan para maibigay yung best sa atin, no? Even pagdating ng college. Pero sabi nga, no, modern na naman ang mga magulang ngayon, hindi naman kamukha dati na kapag sinabi ng magulang na kailangan mag-engineer ka, engineer yung kukunin mo. Kailangan mag-abogado ka. So ngayon, iba na, no? Modern na naman at iba na yung mindset ng mga magulang. Basta kung saan ka masaya, ano yung hilig mo, kung saan ka mag-excel, yun dapat yung kunin mong kurso pagdating sa college. So ang magulang ay nandiyan para suportahan tayo sa ating journey, no? Sa ating pag-aaral at para maging prepared tayo, no? Maging prepared na tayo pagdating sa ating laban sa tunay na buhay. Okay, in the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 14, Section 1, the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. Ayan, sabi nga, no, nasa karapatan ng mga bata ang makapag-aral, no? So, protektado tayo ng ating Philippine Constitution na tayong lahat daw ay may karapatang mag-aral, no? Ang edukasyon ay para sa lahat at ang ating state or ang ating gobyerno ay gumagawa ng mga hakbang para ang pag-aaral or ang education ay maging accessible para sa lahat. So ginagawa naman, ramdam na ramdam naman natin yan, no? Despite of pandemic situation, sinusulong pa rin ng ating Department of Education sa pamuno ng ating Deputy Secretary na si Dr. Leonor Briones, no, na isulong ang edukasyon, no, despite of pandemic, trial and error sa paggamit ng iba't ibang learning modalities or learning platforms, no, para lang maisulong or maitawid, no, yung ating education in this pandemic situation. So ating section 2, paragraph 2, the state shall establish and maintain a system of free public education in the elementary and high school levels without limiting the natural right of parents to rear their children. Elementary education is compulsory for all children of school age. So, ginagawa naman yan, no, ng ating estado or ng ating gobyerno, no, na ang edukasyon ay libre. No, wala kang babayaran kapag ikaw ay nag-enroll sa elementary, secondary schools, in public schools, no, sa elementary and secondary public schools, ay wala kang babayaran. Ikaw ay dapat tanggapin, hindi ka dapat i-reject, no? As long as ikaw ay applicable or ikaw ay para doon sa grade na ine-enrollan mo. For example, no, grade 7, ikaw ay mag-enroll ng grade 7, dapat graduate ka ng grade 6. Hindi ka pwede mag-enroll ng grade 7 kung ikaw ay hindi pa gumagraduate ng grade 6. Pwede kang tanggihan or pwede kang i-reject talaga doon. Ang ibig kong sabihin na hindi ka pwedeng tanggihan is dapat ay lahat ng qualified, no, na mag-aaral or na estudyante na kapag nag-enroll ay dapat ina-accept ito ng school. Despite kung ikaw ay may kakulangan sa requirements, no, may kulang ka na ibang mga dokumento na pwede mo naman i-provide in the near future, no, kailangan tanggapin ka. So access to free public education, ginagawa na yan ng ating state, no, without limiting the natural right of parents. Yan, through our elementary education, yung compulsory natin, no, yung ating elementary education for all children of school age. Yan, so yan yung ating paragraph 2 ng ating section 2 of the 1987 Constitution. So education for all, gumagawa ng hakbang ang ating gobyerno para isulong at maging accessible ang edukasyon. Lahat ng platforms or modalities, nag-trial and error na, no? Ano ba yung para maipakita or makita yung best sa pagsulong ng quality education despite of pandemic, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na most essential learning competencies, no, na dapat ituro lang sa panahon ngayon dahil limited lang, no, yung oras at araw ng pag-aaral ng ating mga mag-aaral ngayong school year. The right to education is fundamental. It is non-discriminatory. Everyone has the right to education regardless of race, ethnicity, social origin, gender, political preferences, or disability. It is also a vital human right in exercising all the other human rights. Furthermore, it stimulates independence and concession to produce significant development benefits for the country. It is a powerful instrument for economically and socially marginalized individuals away from poverty to become productive citizens of the country. Since education is a human right, every individual has an equal opportunity to participate in an education system. So yan, malinaw na malinaw, Vimanians, no? Lahat ng tao or lahat ng bata ay may karapatang mag-aral. Nasa karapatan ng mga bata yan, no? Ikaw ay may karapatang mag-aral. Yan ay iyong human rights, no? Karapatan mo yan bilang isang mag-aaral na ikaw ay mag-aral, makapagtapos ng pag-aaral at balang araw ay maahon ka sa kahirapan, no? Dahil ikaw ay nagkaroon ng sapat na edukasyon para maitaguyod at maihang mo yung sarili sa hirap ng buhay. Since education is a human right, every individual has an equal opportunity. Kaya nga, education is for all. Dapat education is accessible to all, no? Sa lahat, no? Hindi lang sa ilan. Kaya nga ang ating gobyerno or ang ating estado ay mayroong ay tinatag na mga eskwelahan na pampubliko, no, para yung mga mag-aaral na wala namang kakayahang mag-aral sa mga private schools or wala naman silang pera na makapag-aral sa magaganda o mga mamahaling kolehiyo or mga private schools, no, ay makakapag-aral pa rin sila, no, which has a quality education. So may quality education na ibinibigay, no, at itong public schools na ino-offer ng ating gobyerno ay sumusunod sa standard, no, ng mga curriculum, no, at na hindi pa rin mapag-iwanan kahit ikaw ay nasa public school, no, ay halos pumapantay or sumasabay pa rin sa mga exclusive private school sa ating bansa. So education is human rights, karapatan natin 'yan, no, karapatan 'yan bilang isang mag-aaral na makapag-aral, maka-access ng education sa lahat ng oras at maihango, no, ang ating sarili sa hirap pagdating ng araw dahil tayo ay nakapagtapos, no, ng ating pag-aaral. So every individual has an equal opportunity to participate in an education system. So walang exempted dito. So lahat tayo ay may karapatang mag-aral. Despite or in spite of the situation, nagkaroon ng pandemic, tuloy pa rin ang ating pag-aaral at ito ay hindi pwedeng matigil, no? Dahil kapag ito ay natigil, no, ano naman ang mangyayari, no, sa ating society, ano ang mangyayari sa ating kinabukasan? Magkakaroon ng mga lapses dahil nga kung matitigil ang education. So, very thankful sa ating DepEd Secretary dahil despite of pandemic situation, pinagpatuloy pa rin, no, nag-decide pa rin na ipagpatuloy ang pag-aaral, nagpatuloy pa rin ang ating mga public schools, no, na isulong ang quality education through different modalities, no, and platforms para maisulong or maitawid ang ating edukasyon. Okay, before we end our lesson, Vimanyans, we have last activity, no? Write your pledge of commitment and how you can become a productive citizen. So, paano ba kayo magiging isang productive citizen? So, meron tayo ritong activity entitled Pledge of Commitment. Okay? Fill up nyo lang yung mga blank dyan sa ating slides, no? Then state your name, commit myself to. So, ano yung mga i-commit mo sa iyong sarili? Ano ba yung mga dapat mong gawin? Then, so that blank, no? Ano yung reason, no? At bakit mo kailangan i-commit yung mga bagay na ikinomit mo or inilahad mo sa sa pangalawang blank natin. So, bakit? So that blank. So, blank, state your name, commit myself to blank, so that blank. Sige nga, tingnan nga natin, ano ba yung magiging sagot nyo rito? Sa inyo, ano ba yung mga magiging pledge of commitment nyo as learners, as students, no, as citizen of this country, no? Ano ba yung pwede nating i-commit sa ating sarili para makatulong tayo sa ating sarili, sa ating kamag-aral, sa ating magulang, higit sa lahat sa ating bansa, no? What is your pledge of commitment? Kindly comment down your answer to our comment section below. Babasahin ko yan na ipipin natin isa-isa yung inyong mga pledge of commitment. So, state your name, commit myself to, so that, tapos ilagay ang reason. No? Okay, so, ipipin natin yan yung mga sagot nyo sa ating comment section. Ipipin natin yan isa-isa. Thank you sa mga nagpa-participate, sa mga sasagot. Hanggang ngayon, hindi bumitaw mula umpisa hanggang pagtapos ng ating discussion. Before we end our discussion, I would like to leave you this quotation: develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Yan. Dapat lagi tayong passionate about learning, no? Dapat hindi tayo tumitigil kung ano yung kaalaman na meron tayo. Hindi dapat tayo tumitigil doon lang. So, dapat patuloy pa rin ang ating pag-aaral, no? Kahit tayo ay graduate na ng high school or graduate na tayo ng college, dire-diretso pa rin, no, ang ating pag-aaral. Kasi nga, marami tayo mga bagong bagay na matutuklasan. At ito yung no-nourish or ito yung mag-improve sa ating mga kakayahan. Ito yung magpapagrow palalo sa atin. So, Kahit na alam mo na ang isang bagay, no, never stop learning. Mag-research, mag-discover ng mga iba't ibang bagay, no, para ikaw ay mas matuto, para ikaw ay mag-grow, no, academically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, no. So, dapat dine-develop natin yung mga aspects na yan, no. Yung passion of learning hindi dapat mawawala sa atin. Maraming salamat, Vimanians, sa pagtutok mula umpisa hanggang huli. Pasensya na at ngayon na lang ulit tayo nagkaroon ng video lesson dahil uso ngayon ang sakit, no? Ingat sa lahat. Ako kakagaling ko lang sa sakit, no? Kakagaling ko lang din. Ingat tayong lahat. Huwag maglalalabas kung hindi naman importante. So hanggang dito na lang and keep safe. God bless.